Hey everybody, I am so glad to see you, so glad you're here. And if you did click on this video, then you are just like me. You know that we are in the thick of the cold and flu season, and you don't want to have nothing to do with it. I have been researching to death everything that I can do to prevent catching any of those viruses or germs that are lurking out there. I don't have nothing to do with it. So I just thought I would share with you everything that I have learned. So let's just start with the basics, what may or may not be obvious, and then move into the more nitty-gritty. Okay, let's just start with eating healthy. You know I am an advocate to eat healthy year-round. I just feel like that is the way to age well. There are so many things I love to do, and putting good food into my body is like the number one way to ensure that I will be able to continue to do the things I love until I am very, very old. But it also is so important to just avoiding having these viruses attack our body, because if we have a strong immune system, then it's not going to be able to get to us. I mean, when I say eating healthy, just simple, no fancy diet, just go to the grocery store, shop on the exterior aisles, don't go into the middle, avoid the highly processed foods, avoid the highly sugared foods, avoid sugar as much as possible. It is the devil. Something I heard someone say that makes a lot of sense is buy the highest quality food that you can afford, because of course that's going to be different for everyone. But I think that's something to make a priority. That is somewhere that is money well spent. You can spend less money on clothing, and obviously that's not going to affect your health. And you can still dress on a budget and look beautiful. You can go to Supercuts and get your hair cut. You don't have to go to the fancy hairstylist. That again is not going to affect your health, and you can still have a beautiful hairstyle. So, I just think food is somewhere that is money well spent. Buy organic whenever possible. Make sure that your meats are pasture raised, grass fed, that they have no added hormones or antibiotics ever. Make sure the name ever is at the end, because they can get away with saying that they have not added hormones or antibiotics in the last 3 months. But if they say ever, that means it has never been given to them. So the little tricks that you've got to look out for, I would highly suggest throwing in this superfood right now. If you don't do it year round, throw in some bone broth. Either a half a cup or a cup of bone broth every day is gonna really be fabulous. You can make your own. It's easy to do. It just takes like 48 hours to brew it all day long for 48 hours, but you can also get really good quality bone broth from the grocery store. Just read the ingredients. Always read ingredients before you buy anything. I feel like I'm a broken record. I keep repeating the same things, but they're so important. So let's just brush over them quickly. Exercise. Make sure you're moving your body every single day. I really always suggest get out for a walk. It's so good for so many things. You're getting your fresh air, you're seeing the sun, and you're moving your body. I would also throw in, some resistance training a few times a week, but every day, get out for a walk. No surprise here that I'm gonna say sleep. You need to be getting your good quality 8 hours of sleep every night. That is so high on the list of important things to do for your health. Get your sleep in. I will link my video that I did on getting a good night's sleep. I read a study recently saying that if people are consistently getting less than 7 hours of sleep a night, their risk of getting the flu or cold increases by 300%. I always track my sleep, so I know how much of the 3 stages of sleep I'm getting. I know how much I should be getting REM. I know how much core. I know how much deep sleep I was getting. And the last couple of weeks, I wasn't getting my regular deep sleep. And that deep sleep, that is when your body repairs itself. It builds up the cells and the muscles and brain cells, so it really helps with Alzheimer's, and it just really repairs and makes your body strong. So it was very concerning to me that I was not getting my regular deep sleep. I didn't really know what had changed. In my opinion, nothing had changed, so I didn't know why I wasn't getting that good deep sleep. But then I hadn't ordered my lavender spray. That is one of the things that I do. You know, it never really seemed to me like it was a big deal, but it was part of my little routine. So I just reordered it and I started using it again. And I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but my deep sleep started to increase again. So I will leave the one that I use linked in the description box. I don't know for sure, positive, but it did go from less to more once I added it back in. And real quick, let me just ask you, are you subscribed? Take a peek and look, because YouTube has been really funky lately and it has been unsubscribing people. It has not been pushing videos out. I go looking for some of my favorite people that I love to watch and I'm struggling so hard to find them. So something is really going on with YouTube. Don't know what it is, but they could have unsubscribed you. So if you think you're subscribed, you might not be. So just take a peek, and if you aren't, go ahead and subscribe. You know, I always tell you, we meet Wednesdays and Saturdays, but sometimes it's nice to have a reminder, which is what the bell is supposed to do. So click the bell and hope, baby, that, you know, YouTube will do what it's supposed to do and remind you. Meditation, what an important and beneficial thing that is. Whatever that means to you, whether it is getting together with God and spending just a little bit of time in prayer, whether it is just being alone with your thoughts, meditating on your blessings, thinking about the good in your life, just being quiet, just being alone and being quiet with yourself. We just make up excuses all the time why that isn't important, how there are so many other things that we could and should be doing. And sometimes it's very hard to quiet your brain too. When you do chisel that time out to do that, you're just letting your brain race. So controlling your brain to just relax and to really make sure that you don't make excuses why it's not important. It's so important, not just for our brain health, our whole physical health. Having that quiet time and just letting go of the stress. It's very important. Okay, so those are the basics, the ones that I think are kind of obvious that we all know, but sometimes we just need to go over them and remind ourselves how important they each are. So let's get into some of the less conventional things that when I tell people I do them, often there's some eye rolls and some chuckles. I don't care, but I believe that these things really help me and keep me healthy and keep me from getting sick. So I'm going to share them with you. And if you are as determined as me and hate being sick as much as I do, then maybe you'll give it a try. There's no harm in giving these things a try. Breathwork. I started this over a year ago, and I will swear that this helped me so much. I always took Zyrtec every single day. I always had allergies. I always have like asthma. I was a runner, so I always had that, exercise-induced asthma. I'm telling you, since I started this Breathwork, it's an app, same app I do every single day. It's 10 minutes, it's Wim Hoff. I can link it for you if you are interested, but I do it every morning, and there have been times that I haven't. And even my husband will notice one day without doing it, I'm blowing my nose and I'm sneezing, because that is how much my allergies just take over my life. But if I do this every day, I can breathe well, I'm never blowing my nose, and to me, it's life-changing. So be a skeptic if you want, but give it a few times, see how you like it, and then get back to me. So I grew up with my mother and my grandmother always telling us, make sure you dress warmly. Dear child, if you go out without a coat on, you're gonna catch your death of pneumonia. And honestly, I never really believed it. I don't like being cold, so I do dress warmly. I like to be warm. I don't like being cold. But I remember when my son was little and we still lived in Canada, and he would go out in the snow and he would be hot and he would take his shirt off I don't know, I let him. But all the other mothers used to go crazy, like, don't let him do that. Now my kid wants to do that. I'm like, it's your problem, not mine. I didn't see a problem. He would sometimes open up the back door and walk out into the snowbanks in his bare feet. I don't know, I figured he was a very smart human being, and I figured that if it felt cold to him, he wouldn't do it. But I was very criticized as a mother for that, but again, I didn't really care. So now I do cold plunges. I tell people cold plunges, they always say, that ain't for me. I cannot do that. Listen, I hate being cold. If there's one thing I hate is being cold. But if I put something in my head and I believe that it works, then you can do anything. I mean, it's only 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, tops. And everybody has a shower. At the end of your shower, turn it to the cold and let it run over you for 2 minutes. Put the timer on. I always put the timer on. 2 minutes, boom, you're done. And again, give it a try. Don't just roll your eyes. Give it a try and get back to me. So every morning I fill up my giant Stanley with water, and then I put in all my little additives that I put in. I have my electrolytes, I have my creatine, and I have my protein powder. And I started adding into that a little tiny scoop of vitamin C. I heard somewhere that adding vitamin C helps your collagen to absorb into your body better. So I've been doing this for a while now, but right now, if you don't do vitamin C, now is the time. Add vitamin C into your diet. You can do the powder like I do. I can leave that linked if you want. Vitamins and supplements, that's another place that you don't want to scrimp, because that industry is pretty shady. You want to get the really good supplements, or else it's almost like a waste of your money altogether if you're getting the less expensive ones. Pure, P-U-R-E, is one of the companies that I really trust. I've heard so many good things about them, and a lot of the things that I use is from them. But get your vitamin C in the food you eat too. The best way to get the nutrients into your body isn't through supplements, it's through the food that you eat. Just find the food that you love that has vitamin C in it and eat that. Make sure you're getting your probiotics, because that's going to really build your immune system and really help your body fight off those infections like the cold and the flu. So make sure you're eating your kimchi and your sauerkraut. Zinc is really important in building that strong immune system, and they say 80% of the population is zinc deficient. So make sure you're eating your pumpkin seeds and your spinach. And we need our vitamin D, which is why getting outside for a walk is really beneficial. I understand in the winter most of our body is covered up, but let our face look into the sunshine, and every little bit helps. If you have access to red light therapy, that is going to be really beneficial too. And taking a good quality multivitamin every day is important, but the key word is good quality. The one I use, I think it's from Pure. I can link it if you want. But I know it works because, first of all, when you open up the jar, it smells bad. It has a strong smell to it. And accidentally, I was taking 2 of them every morning. And after, I was always feeling sick to my stomach, and I couldn't figure out why every morning I was feeling sick to my stomach, kind of nauseated. And then I finally realized I was taking 2 of these vitamin pills. So it works. It does something to your body. A lot of those vitamins, it's just you're taking them and it's just like you're taking nothing. So I know that when I take this multivitamin, that it is doing something. It is absorbing into my body. So I'm not someone who uses the hand sanitizer. I mean, I think I wash my hands a lot, but just because I'm always cleaning and stuff, but I don't purposely, always make sure I rush and wash my hands. I don't ever get the flu shot. I just really feel that if I can build up my immune system really strong, that the viruses and the germs that are out there, because they're everywhere, I just feel like no matter how much I sanitize my hands, avoid touching my face, I mean, it just feels like there's no way to really completely prevent coming in contact with these germs. It's just impossible. I mean, people are spreading the germs when they don't even know they're sick. So it's not like, avoiding people that are sick or staying home when you are sick. I mean, those germs are everywhere. So I just feel like the best way to combat it is make sure that my immune system is really strong. The last time I got sick was in 2022 when I was coming home from my son's wedding in Mexico. The entire wedding party, everyone who attended this wedding got COVID. I was never so sick before my whole life. I know travel is not good either because in and on planes and stuff, the air quality is not good. So combat that with, a week of not eating well and traveling and not having your regular routine. Those are things too that add into just setting yourself up for getting sick. So that was the sickest. Oh my gosh, I was so sick. And I vowed that I don't like getting sick. I'm doing everything in my power to avoid that. I just have an active, fun life, and being sick sucks. So if you have any suggestions of how to avoid being sick, please leave them in the comments because we can all glean from you, and I definitely want to learn anything that you have to offer. And if you don't have any suggestions, say hi, because I'm telling you, if you say hi to me, it literally makes my day. I love hearing from you guys. So go out there, be healthy, and have a great cold and flu season. Love you guys. Bye.